Teach Me Grappling. What's up, guys? Coach Brian's version of how to wrap hands. Check this out. I've already worked on one of these. I'm going to show you what I do. There's a lot of ways to wrap hands. You can watch. There's probably hundreds of tutorials on how to wrap hands. I'm going to show you how I like to do it with my guys. I've got Jesse here. He's getting ready for his kickboxing workout today. We've got a basic hand wraps. You'll see the Velcro is on the outside. A lot of times I don't do this. Just go ahead and take it out. You can use a pad, like an extra pad, but we're not going to use one today, but I'll talk about it. You'll see these loops. A lot of times guys will put them on their fingers and they'll start wrapping their hands. What I do and what I teach is you take this loop and you don't start like this and wrap. Instead, you start with the Velcro end, and I'm gonna roll this thing back up the other way in reverse. So I take 2 fingers, use your thumb and index finger right there on the tip, use 2 fingers so it's slightly larger. I'm gonna pull it in tight and wrap it, okay? And the Velcro is down. So check it out. This might look good against my blue shirt. You'll be able to see everything. Notice how I'm flipping it. So I'm wrapping it and I'm flipping it. Flip, flip. That way the wrap doesn't get totally twisted. If you look down, you'll see it's twisted. We don't want it twisted. So I'm flipping it, which is untwisting it as we go. Okay, so this just takes a little bit and you'll get better at it. You should not be taking forever to get this job done. So in just a little bit of time, that thing is completely wrapped. Now, this hand wrap, you can either take, some of these are longer than others. You can take them and wrap it like this and throw that in your bag. So now I've got a hand wrap. This is how it's prepped to wrap, okay? Like that. Next, here's what I do. I take this loop, okay, I wrap it around my finger, and now I'm gonna build a pad because I want the pad to be on the knuckles. So we're gonna start this pad. This is the width of Jesse's knuckles, roughly, give or take. I'm gonna go about maybe 5, 6. It depends on how long your wraps are. So I'm not really counting, but maybe we'll start like this and that'll make sure we get enough. Okay, now I take this out, leave that loop inside, we don't need it. So now that's a pad. All right, you ready? Yep. Go ahead, and I asked my fighter to, or if you're doing this to yourself, he opens up his hand, spreads his fingers out, okay? I'm gonna place the pad. You always want the wrap going away. So I wouldn't do it this way. You wanna wrap this way. I'm gonna place that pad on the knuckles. Then I'm gonna hold it and pull it around, hold that pad and wrap nice and snug, okay? So that's held on. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back towards the wrist. So now the pad is on there, and then he's got a nice watch here because he likes to keep track of his calories, right? Yep. Is that what that's for?
Yes, sir.
Most of you guys probably don't do that, okay? I'm not gonna worry too much about the wrist just yet. I'll try to get that at the end. I'm gonna show you the pattern. This is a basic X pattern. We're gonna go pinky and ring finger, but we're gonna X pattern back towards the index finger, and then make sure that this comes back and X patterns across the top of the hand. I'm keeping this snug, but I'm not pulling it so tight. He's nice and flexed out, so he's not gonna feel like it's too tight when we're all done. Notice how I came back this way and I X pattern. There's a lot of people, and I'm not saying it's wrong, there's many ways to do things, but they will pull it back this way. But what that's gonna do, it's gonna put the wraps on your palm here, which I try to keep open. So what I wanna do is I wanna wrap it around. This last one, we're gonna go across the knuckles, okay? If I have a lot, I'll do more X patterns, but I know we don't have a whole lot with this wrap. Now I'm gonna come and catch his thumb. As I catch the thumb, we pull it back to the wrist. He's okay to make a fist right there, make it feel good. He can open and close it. Again, we're not much on the wrist. Looks like we've got some wrist support with our watch, okay? And then I'm gonna finish the baby out. Did you like 2 on the thumb?
Yeah, 2.
Okay, so he likes 2 on the thumb. So I'm gonna actually take that, I'm gonna wrap that thumb twice, which is fine because I got plenty. And then there it is. The Velcro there is at the end. This particular hand is gonna be right there. And now what we have is, we have the pad on the top. We have the X pattern protecting the bones in the hand. And then on the bottom, our palm is not totally covered up right here. If I was doing a professional hand wrap for a fight, I would cut this out, whatever is necessary. I would have it cut out, but now his fingers can grab that little roll of dimes and he can have, you notice Jesse's hand, go ahead and make your fist. He's got some, obviously some hand injuries. He's a real fighter. And now that's nice and tight, and he's got the padding on the knuckles, and not all of the wrap is spent on the palm of the hand. So we're gonna do it a little quicker on this one. So I'm gonna go about 5-6 wraps here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll go to right there. Make sure we have enough, okay? Take that off, he's ready. So which way do we go? We go away. So we're gonna place it on the knuckles, wrap that around, nice and snug. Remember, it's covering those knuckles, okay? Now I know it's on there. Take that back towards the wrist. Now again, I could wrap the wrist a whole lot. We're gonna get some at the end. Here we go, pinky and ring, back towards the index finger, X pattern back towards the wrist. Middle, index, X pattern back towards the wrist. Between the index and the middle. And then out of this position, I could X pattern back towards the wrist, or I could finish it off right here. I'm running low on wrap, so I'm gonna finish it off on this part. We're gonna take his thumb, get that thumb, and you notice I'm running out right here, but let's get one more. And then I'm gonna try to get him a nice tight wrap on the wrist because he needs that wrist supported, okay? Many ways of doing it, guys. Nice and snug. How is that? Is that too tight?
No, it's perfect.
Okay, cool. So again, right here, guys, he opens it up. You got a nice palm right there for you to grab, and knuckles are protected. Looks like this. Top of the hand protected. The small bones in the top of the hand. The wrist is protected. The thumb is pulled back. This is how I like to wrap hands, okay? All right, guys, when you wrap hands, if you wrap them across here again, it's gonna look like a big fat kind of little pad on both sides. We want it more on the top side and on the knuckles. That way we have a pad. You can always, I didn't talk about it, you can always, in the middle of this, you can place another pad full of gauze, or you can use a sponge, like an ordinary kitchen sponge. Cut it to the same size as your knuckles, place that there, and then wrap the hand wraps over it if you need extra padding for your knuckles, if you guys are hitting really hard, okay? Hope you enjoyed. This is Coach Brian's version of wrapping hands. Again, I learned this at a boxing gym 25 years ago or so. It's the way I like to wrap hands. I see a lot of people wrap hands. I'm kind of like, eh. I've wrapped a lot of professionals' hands for MMA fights, and it's not the same with MMA fights because there's rules with the state athletic commissions, but this is basically how we do it with basic hand wraps. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you guys next time with more great stuff. Bam.